The auction house smelled of rust and fear. Chains rattled as the last of the alien slaves were dragged off the platform, their new masters leading them away like prize cattle. The crowd had dispersed, satisfied with their purchases, except for one. She sat alone on the platform, shackled to a rusted pole, head bowed, long strands of dull, silver hair falling over her face. Her thin frame trembled with each breath. Worthless! The auctioneer spat, adjusting his stained jacket. Half-starved. Can't even speak properly. Nobody wants damaged goods. I lingered near the edge of the platform, hands in my pockets. I hadn't planned on being here. I was a hauler. My ship was in port for repairs, and I'd wandered into this part of the city out of boredom. I had no interest in owning anyone, but there was something about the way she sat there, still silent, like she'd given up on even existing. "Release her," I said. The auctioneer barked a laugh. "You're joking. She'll be dead in a week. If you want an alien servant, buy a proper one." "I'll take her," I repeated. He stared at me, gauging whether I was serious. When I didn't waver, he shrugged. "Fine, 50 credits. Don't come crying when she dies on you." I transferred the credits and watched as they unlocked her shackles. She didn't resist, didn't even look up as they shoved her toward me. Her wrists were raw and bleeding from the restraints. I draped my jacket over her shoulders and guided her out. Back on my ship, I set her down in the med bay. She sat perfectly still, eyes on the floor as I cleaned her wounds. Her skin was pale, almost translucent, with faint traces of bioluminescence that flickered weakly, like a dying light. "You got a name?" I asked gently. Nothing, not even a twitch. I tried again, softer this time. "Do you understand me?" Her head moved slightly, barely a nod. "Good," I said. "I'm Ethan. You're safe here." She flinched at the word safe, as if it were foreign to her. Over the next few days, I fed her small meals, tended her injuries, and gave her a room of her own. She still hadn't spoken. She moved like a ghost, always cautious, always ready to shrink away if I got too close. It wasn't until the fourth night that I heard her voice, faint, hesitant, almost like a question. "Why?" I turned from where I was working on the ship's engine. "Why what?" She stood in the doorway, clutching the blanket I'd given her. Her eyes, large, silver, and eerily luminous, met mine for the first time. "Why by me?" I wiped my hands on a rag. "Because no one else would." Her brows knitted slightly, confusion in her expression. "I am broken." I shook my head. "No, you've just been treated like you are." Her lips parted as if she wanted to respond but didn't know how. Then she slipped away again, silent as always. Weeks passed. She began to open up, piece by piece. Her name, she told me one evening, was Lyra. She was from a world I'd never heard of, a lush planet conquered by a mining corporation. She'd been taken young, sold from owner to owner, until she ended up here. "I tried to fight," she admitted one night, sitting beside me in the cockpit as we drifted through the void. "They broke my wings for it." I looked at her, startled. "Wings." She nodded and, with trembling hands, pulled back the fabric of her shirt. Faint scars traced across her shoulder blades, ragged, cruel reminders of what had been torn from her. I didn't know what to say. I just reached over and rested my hand gently over hers. For a long moment, she didn't move. Then, slowly, she let her fingers curl around mine. The first time she laughed, it startled me. I'd been trying, unsuccessfully, to cook dinner. Smoke filled the galley, and I was cursing under my breath when she appeared. Covering her mouth as a soft, musical sound escaped her. "That is food?" she asked, voice still shy but tinted with humor. "Was supposed to be," I said. She tilted her head, eyes bright for the first time. "I can cook." From that day, something changed. She began to smile, faintly at first, then more often. She walked without fear, spoke without hesitation. She started decorating her little room with bits of fabric and trinkets she found on stations we visited. She was alive again. One evening, as we prepared to jump to a new sector, she stood beside me in the cockpit, watching the stars streak by. "You saved me," she said softly. I looked at her. "No, Lyra, you save yourself. I just gave you the chance." She turned to me then, eyes shimmering with unshed tears. And before I could react, she leaned forward and pressed her forehead to mine, a gesture, I would later learn, of deep gratitude among her people. "I am not worthless," she whispered.